We are probably something, and we're working to make digital ecosystems understandable to anyone. My name is Natalie Meurer, and I come from a background at Palantir, working with law enforcement and defense, and then to Stanford Graduate School of Business, where I met Beth.
I'm Beth Nakamura. Most recently, I was a technical lead at Lyft, optimizing their cloud infrastructure. Natalie and I met while at Stanford GSB as two people obsessed with the future of digital ownership and trying to make sense of the Web3 world. Now, we help others do the same. We make complex digital ecosystems understandable by anyone, starting with Web3 communities. Web3 onboarding is broken. Users have very different levels of sophistication and understanding of how digital assets can be leveraged. So we started by building a dataset around what you can do with what you own, things like events, claims, and access. We extracted messages from Discord and Twitter about NFT utility and curated this into a structured time tag dataset. This data is serviced via our consumer app Lifeboat, and now we're ready to get this data into more people's hands.
So now we're excited to introduce Lifebot, which is our first B2B product, and it's backed by the data asset that Beth just mentioned that we built in Lifeboat. So Lifebot is an embeddable Discord or web-based bot that can explain your project. It can provide personalized user support, and ultimately, and most importantly, it can convert more users to your protocol or to your product. I'm going to dive right into a demo here, working off of Parallel TCG, which is a Web3-based game. So when a new user joins a Lifebot configured Discord, they're given a private thread where they can ask private questions and open-ended questions related to the project. And this is backed by our data combined with our client's data. Then a natural next step is to jump into the general channel where we have a number of users chatting about the project and chatting about digital assets in general. And Lifebot here is configured to respond to particular frequently asked questions when they come up. So we'll notice our user here asks for details on the latest patch. And importantly, you'll note that because the bot knows that this is a new user, it actually gives it a higher level response focused on just general trends of what's changed. Now, when we see a different type of user, in this case, someone who's indicated which factions/parallels they like to play, that they're a master player, a top 50 player, we're going to get a very different response from the bot here. And so you'll notice that in this response, it indicates both the two parallels/factions that they're playing as, what particular cards changed, and what the actual changes were. And so this is one of the ways that we're thinking about making Web3 more personalized, helping users onboard, and also really meeting people where they are in the ecosystem. So 2 asks for this group is, we would love it if you would try it out and give us feedback. We have a live Lifebot Discord now. And so you can scan that QR code or go to the bit.ly link and get started asking Lifebot questions. And secondly, if you're interested in increasing conversion on new users to your ecosystem, helping retain users who may have left your ecosystem and want to figure out what's been going on recently, we're partnering right now with gaming, NFT, and DeFi projects. And so we'd love to roll out a pilot program in your community. And here's some details on how you can reach out to us. And you can also find more info at lifebot.chat. Thanks.
Thanks, you two. That was awesome. Let's get into Q&A. First one, from your vantage point, what have you seen in terms of trends as it pertains to NFT communities and their priorities or concerns?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think really interesting because, given the state of the NFT market as compared with our partners in DeFi or gaming, a lot more NFT projects are focused on reducing burn right now. And so folks are trying to find ways to continue supporting their community and onboarding efforts while also focusing on where their businesses are headed. And so I'd say in general, obviously, we're in the throes of a bear market when it comes to NFTs, but still seeing a lot of activity in a lot of Discords and folks that are really, embarking on new initiatives to onboard more users or retain the ones they have. So just as a tangible example there, Proof just launched Signal, which is their new email newsletter, which is a way to re-engage users. So we're seeing a lot of that in the space as well.
Got it. And how have you seen your users kind of use the product right now? And how did it lead you to build Lifebot, the next iteration?
Yeah, well, so Lifebot, or Lifeboat rather, our initial product, intentionally similarly named, basically was focused on these, I guess you call them whale users, individuals with a ton of assets. And so our average weekly active there has 12,000 NFTs, or sorry, 1,200 NFTs, and an average portfolio value of around 100K. And so we found that that data was really valuable, but really it was only solving half of the problem, which was how do individuals stay up to date with what they own? So LifeBot we see as a much better way to take that data, but then use it to contextualize experiences for new users. And that's really been the journey that, Beth and I and our team has gone on through VFF.
Got it. Someone asked, do you have any early metrics around retention and value add that LifeBot is providing for games?
A great question. We're planning to launch a case study on our site soon. But yeah, for now we don't have those metrics handy, but we're kind of initially working with some pilot programs, so we will have those for you soon.
Got it. How much of a difference does the proprietary data that you gathered with Lifeboat make in terms of quality of responses that LifeBot comes up with?
Yeah, a pretty significant difference is the short answer. And in general, obviously, there's a huge question in the AI community right now of, where is the edge when you're comparing different bot products and how much of a role does data play? For us, the role is twofold. One is we're able to understand, time-wise and temporally, what's relevant and what's not right now at a given time. So a lot of these other bots are focused on very static information like documentation. Because our data is all time tagged in a very discrete way that's focused on the utility event, we're able to disentangle, okay, what's relevant now or what claims are upcoming versus things that happened a year ago. So that's one. And then secondarily, just generally having structured data enables you on the back end with some of these retrieval methods to do much more, I'd say, thoughtful querying. So most chatbots use just conventional vector databases, but because we have an API under the hood with ownership data and things like that, we're able to do more structured retrieval based on users' query. So that's what I'd say. Anything to add?
Yeah, and the thing I would add is because our task data is curated to be around actionable things, like what can you actually do? It's particularly well tailored for new users trying to understand, like, okay, I'm interested in this ecosystem, but how do I actually engage with it and jump in?
Yeah. And at the end of the day, it's a combination of our data and then our clients' data. And so it's important to have both pieces in there.
Right. And are you thinking of making this data or even just the infrastructure in general open in the future at all?
Yeah, we're open to partnering on that. We've seen some requests for our data. Because we've worked really hard to curate it. That's typically a paid engagement because we have a team of curators that effectively curate this 24 hours a day. So yeah, I mean we're open to outreach on that, but just to call out that it's not pure open infrastructure. It's behind our APIs.
Makes sense. All right, that's all the time that we have. Thanks so much, Nat and Beth.